done in these areas, it can be this. And the other part is Professor Singh, Mr. Alok Mishra, Executive Director, ONGC. So we'll be starting the session with Professor Dr. P.C. Joshi, and after that we'll take over the other speakers. Thank you.
Respected Chairperson, my co-panelists, Professor R.P. Singh, C.A. Deen Dayal Agarwal ji, and I see very learned people also sitting here, people like Professor Manavendra, Dr. Bhavani Dixit and all others. Now, I think I've been listening very patiently since morning to various presentations, and I must tell you that I will try to give a different perspective to whatever we have learned since morning as an anthropologist, as a person who is primarily working in tribal areas. Now, we talked of rural development, so there are, we have decided to have two, urban development and rural development, but a very large section I found is missing, and that is the tribal areas. I must tell you that they are nearly 100 million people, and they are the real custodian of our heritage. If we call something as Bharat, in the heritage of Bharat, I think our tribal communities have been playing a very, very important role. And especially their traditional knowledge, which is so very valuable to us, which we need to understand as a great asset for the posterity. So I would urge that when we talk of rural development, CSR and rural development, the tribal development is included in it. And these 100 million people who are there, they are also part and parcel of our schemes, CSR schemes, whether we are talking of sanitation, whether we are talking of health improvement, or we are talking of skill development. They are also part and equal partner in that. Secondly, I think we should also talk, I would also like to briefly discuss about the very concept of development. Now there is this rural development that we have been talking about. But then we also have another term, which I think is more appropriate. That is term given by Mahatma Gandhi, Gram Swaraj. Is rural development same as Gram Swaraj? I don't think so, because I think for the last so many years, we have been working on rural development, which primarily, I think, is good, had good intention, but it's more like a top-down. But what was Gandhi's idea? Gandhi's idea was Swaraj. And I think here Gandhi and Vinoba Bhave, his idea of Sarvodaya. I'll go one step further to somebody whose name is similar to our organizer, Deen Dayal Upadhyay, and he gave a very beautiful concept, Antodaya. So these Antodaya, Sarvodaya, Gram Swaraj, these are very, very important concepts. These concepts are concepts which are emancipatory and empowering concepts. Now when we had Professor Singh talking about Banaras and the kind of skills available there, and their dying skills. Actually they are dying because we have not thought of Gram Swaraj. Now if we think of Gram Swaraj, then we are talking also of self-sufficiency, Swavalamban. So we are talking of things which are available there, improvement through that, not depending on something which is externally available and we become dependent. So Mahatma Gandhi's idea of Gram Swaraj was to empower people. And therefore, Mahatma Gandhi was somebody who was looking for resources surrounding that area, not making people dependent on resources, dependent on skills. I give you a very simple example of what actually in practice this Swaraj means. Now Gandhi, some people used to call him a very esoteric, eccentric person, because he used to have a bakri with him and he would drink the milk of bakri, and he would be a great advocate. He was a great advocate of naturopathy. Now I often wonder why Gandhi did not like Ayurveda. Why he preferred naturopathy over Ayurveda. I must tell you, Ayurveda was Swadeshi. It is part and parcel of our culture, of heritage. Whereas naturopathy is not so that it was imported by Gandhi. The idea of naturopathy came from Germany. But Gandhi preferred naturopathy over Ayurveda. Why? Because in naturopathy, there was this self-sufficiency. Mud, water, solar light, all these things were available surrounding areas. Whereas Ayurveda would have made Gandhi dependent on some herb coming from Himalaya, some other coming from Kerala. So I think this idea of Swaraj, which was an empowering idea, and this is the core philosophy, I think this should be the core philosophy of CSR as well. So there is a Chinese saying, which says that don't give people fish, teach them how to catch fish. Idea is to empower, idea is to make them catch fish so that they are not dependent on you. So make people self-sufficient, self-reliant. That should be the core message of CSR. In that sense, I think Modi sir, Prime Minister Modi's idea of skill development, I think is greatly empowering. This is one. Now my main area is actually health. I would actually like to now talk about some of the issues of health which are very, very emerging issues, I think. You have all must be hearing about Sunanda Tharoor's death, and there's a big case going on. Like one of the hypotheses is that Sunanda Tharoor died because of self-medication. This is also one of the hypotheses. She died because she took medicine on her own without prescription. Now in India, I think 100% of the people do commit this mistake. We all eat medicine quite often without any prescription. So we buy groceries, we go to the pharmacist and say, this is the problem, give me this medicine. And many of us know this medicine. We also buy antibiotics. We don't care for any doctor to prescribe. Now what is happening? What is happening is that a very serious problem is coming up. Do you know why Nawab Patwari died? Nawab Patwari died because of AMR, antimicrobial resistance. He died because there was no antibiotic which was having anything to do with him, because he had developed that resistance. And many people in India are developing this resistance. So antibiotic resistance is developed because not only the lay people, but even the doctors in our research fund, even the doctors are not aware whether antibiotics is to be given or not. Sometimes they give, we ask them, why are you giving antibiotic? Especially for two conditions, antibiotic is greatly abused in our country. One is diarrhea, where 95% cases of diarrhea do not require any antibiotic. Second is cough and cold. And these are the two conditions where we always take antibiotics. So there is a big gap between what is the ground reality as far as the health is concerned. I must tell you that we are going to land up in a very, very big problem in the coming days because of AMR, antimicrobial resistance. Because our drug taking habits are very, very bad. They are very, very unscientific. Even our doctors are not caring that we should not subject people to antibiotics, unnecessary antibiotics. So we are going to have epidemics in future where even for a very minor infections, there won't be any antibiotic available or effective on us. So this is one area where I think lot of awareness generation is required. And I think CSR activities should take these areas. Second, briefly, sir, if I have some time. Okay. Second area that I would like to work on, sanitation. Prime Minister Modi sah's idea is there, sanitations. And we have been, as anthropologists, we have been working on this area. Why? But what is happening? That you are having toilets, but people are not using them. It's not that toilets have not been built, sir. Right from the day we started doing community development programs, we have been knowing that toilets are very important. But then let me ask you a question. In an area, in a place where for water one has to go for 10 kilometers and spend 4 hours to get just a little bit of water, where would that family, for them water would be a great thing. They won't be wasting water. So we have to actually think of, besides looking at toilet problem, we have to also think of what could be the alternatives. And I think if toilets are not being used in India, it is not the mistake of the villagers. It is not because they are not aware. Nobody would like to, go in the outside. I think something is wrong with us, something wrong with the scientists and technologists of the country that we have not thought of. What kind of toilets are needed? How can we make sure that with less water or with no drop of water, I don't know how can we done, but I think these areas need to be worked on. Thirdly, I would like to talk about the tribal health. And when we talk of tribal health, I am talking of 100 crore people, for which I advocate that CSR activities should be done, especially in the field of health. Now, there is something called National Family Health Survey, which is done regularly. Now, if we look at the tribal canvas in India, I would like to separate them into two parts. One is Central Indian tribals, another is the Northeastern tribals. So, major chunk of our tribal communities are living in those two areas. States like Chhattisgarh, states like Jharkhand, Odisha, and then we have got the 7-8 sisters of Northeast, where the bulk of tribal communities are living. Now, if you look into the health of these two areas, the Central Indian tribals are worst. They are worse than even the scheduled caste. I must tell you, sir, they are worse than even the scheduled caste. Now, these Central Indian tribal areas are grossly neglected by all kinds of problems. And now these problems are doubled because of the next slide problem that is there. Whatever little the government, whatever little the health care should have reached them is not reaching because of the insurgency problem, because of the next slide problem. And I must tell you that there are big gaps. Now, if there is 50% of the children in the scheduled caste of those areas are malnourished, it is 65% of the tribals. So they are the worst, and I think after independence, if any community whose health has deteriorated, it is the tribe. So they have not got the benefit of independence, they have not got the benefit of our freedom. In fact, they have suffered because of that. They were far better. They were far, far better before independence. After all kinds of schemes, after all kinds of rural development things that we have been doing, they are going down further. So we have to think about it, and I think the corporate sector has not only the responsibility to take away their assets and their resources, but also I think Mahatma Gandhi gave the concept of trusteeship. I think this is the trusteeship, this concept or the feeling of trusteeship that the corporate should have, which should govern their conduct. And they should at least make the tribal people reach the level at which they were at the time of independence. So this is what is required. We need to take care of the children in those areas. We need to take care of the women in those areas. We need to take care of the elderly in those areas. And they are really in a very, very miserable condition. One last point that I would like to make is about their heritage. In fact, after development, earlier, there were no doctors, so they were more dependent on their forest and for their medicinal plants. And a lot of medicines are there, and they have good knowledge of it. But what has happened after independence is that we have given them all kinds of infections also. Now they are actually dependent like us. Now they have got all kinds of infections which they were earlier devoid of. They were in isolation, they were devoid of those. Not only that, because of the kind of situation that they are in, mental illnesses are also increasing on them, which were almost absent earlier. One of my students who did a study in Arunachal Pradesh, especially among the Apatani group of Arunachal Pradesh, found that the rate of mental illness is very, very low. But it will not remain so. But if you go to Bastar, it will be very high. And it is all very high because of all kinds of problems that they are in, because of all kinds of frustrations that they are in, because of all kinds of coercions that they are in. I'm talking of the innocent tribal people. So what I would like to say is that we must understand our responsibility toward them. If their health, physical and mental health has deteriorated, it is not because of something wrong that they did. It's all because of us. It is all because of the kind of development that we try to impose upon them. So we must recollect ourselves. And I would urge the corporate sector, through its CSR, to think of these points also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joshi ji. Now may I request Ms. Vaishali Shefali Sinha, Director Renew Power, to share her views.
Good afternoon, everybody. Honorable Chairperson, co-panelists, and all the attendees and the organizers. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak today. Let me start by, first of all, congratulating everybody here who's awake, and I hope that by the end of my piece, everybody's still awake. I'm a fairly new entrant to the CSR field. I've been a banker and a corporate sort of an employee for a long time, and a few years back, my husband Suman started this company, which is Renew Power. It's only